is about a couple of oxen. There was a man in New Hampshire and New Jersey. New England. New Hampshire and New England. He went to a competition involving oxen. Now within this competition there was a number of oxen in different pens. The oxen were to be yoked together and then they had to pull a huge amount of weight a certain distance in order to pass each round. And there were 3 rounds in the competition. So if they got through one round, they'd obviously go on to the next. And as he was looking around the pens, he saw 2 oxen that were bigger, that were stronger than all the other oxen. And he thought to himself, they're going to win. That's got to be the clear winner of the day. And he saw another pen with 2 oxen in it. And one oxen was big and large, like the other 2, but the other one was small. It was still solid and strong, but it was way shorter. And so when the yoke went on, it actually went on an angle. And he thought to himself, how possibly, would that work in that situation? Yet as the tournament went on, there was only one pair of oxen that made it all 3 weights. They were able to move the weight all 3 times. And that one pair was a mismatched couple. And he shook his head and he couldn't understand this, how this could be the case. And so he went out and inquired, why is it that these 2 are able to move the weight? What was taught him at this moment was that both oxen worked in unison together. They moved at the exact same moment. And because of that, they were able to get massive propulsion forward and they're able to move that heavy object. Now as you think about that, we've got 2 different sized oxen. What I want to do with you now is think about one of those oxen, the smaller one, as being your conscious mind. Think about the bigger oxen being your unconscious mind. You see, we all have a conscious mind. That's our awake mind. We all have an unconscious mind. That's the mind that breathes us and sleeps us and helps us grow fingernails, our hair grows. There's things that you do without thinking about them. That's your unconscious. Your values, your habits, your beliefs are all contained there in the unconscious arena or unconscious part of your mind. Now, the interesting fact is this, that most of the drivers in your life that determine if you're going to succeed, that determine if you're going to fail, that determine whether you're going to lose weight or gain slimness, that determine whether you're going to increase your weight, that determine whether you're going to have a positive outlook on life or going to be negative. All these determiners, the major part of them is contained within our unconscious mind. Now the good news is this, is that we can work directly with the unconscious mind. The way we do that is we look at the unconscious area of life. We look at the beliefs that you have. We look at the values that you have. And what we try and do is work out if those values and beliefs are consistent with your behaviour. Because from the unconscious arena they are. But sometimes in our conscious mind, we want to do this. We really want to spend time being a good mother. Or we really want to focus on our children. And yet life sometimes gets in the way. Or we really want to focus on spirituality. And yet, if we do it with our conscious mind, then what happens is we make a change, but is that change permanent? Yes or no? Is that change from our conscious mind always going to be permanent? Sometimes yes, but often no. Who's ever made a commitment here to get up and exercise every day? Who's ever done that? Okay, who's still doing it today? Who did it this morning? Ah, very good. See, there's a difference between something that happens in the conscious mind and something that happens in the unconscious mind. Now when you do it, and you do it consistently every day, the information of doing that thing or that action has moved from the conscious realm into the unconscious realm. And that's why you're doing it every day, because you don't have to think about it. That's a must for you. Who here goes to church? You have to think about it every Sunday, whether I'm going to go or not. You don't. That's part of your unconscious. Some of you, it's habit. Once you've got that habit, that's just the way it is, and you continue to live life that way. Now, there are other things in our life where we don't have that same commitment. We don't have those habits. That's where I can help. That's what Access World Seminars is all about. It's about helping you take those things that you would like to see happen in terms of your relationship, in terms of your career or your finances, in terms of, see, if you think about career and finances, just think about this. Who thinks living on the planet is expensive? Hands up. Is living expensive? Who thinks living costs are expensive? They are? They've gone up? Well, just think about this. Every year, everyone in this room gets a free trip around the sun. It's free. Isn't that great? We'll get a free trip around the sun. Free trip. Holiday. Very good. There's always one. There's always one. But thank you. We got there in the end. We got there in the end. That's good. Okay, so in terms of our relationships, in terms of our career or finances, in terms of our physical health, and in terms of our spirituality, who can see that there's wriggle room or there's room for growth in one of these areas of their life? Hands up. Who can see that there's room for growth in one of these areas? No? Yes? Okay. This is the reason why you've been hand selected to come here today, is that we value you guys. We would like to help you make those changes. Now, there's a way to make those changes happen, and that will be taught in the seminar. Is what we do is we work with our conscious mind. We also work with the unconscious mind. You see, we work with the unconscious mind using our imagination. Did you know that the unconscious doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy? So in our conscious mind, we can see something, and well, we can decide to do something, but unless we get all the components of our focus directionalized in the one direction together, it's like one oxen moving by itself. Remember, we've got a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. The bigger oxen is the unconscious, the smaller oxen is the conscious. Now, unless they move together simultaneously, then life stays the same. We may change it for a week or even a couple of weeks, but then, once the old thoughts come home to roost, we think to ourselves, I'm just not meant to have the great things in life. I'm just not meant to be good at this. Or I'm just not meant to be happy every day. I'm just not meant to be excited and full of life. I'm just not meant to have the great things in life. And the more we think that way, the more life stays the same. So, it's all about creating change. Not just change, transformation. Who would like to feel confident anytime you need to feel confident? Who would like to feel love anytime you need love? Who would like to feel like you're on a roll? Who would like to feel humour or laugh anytime they would like to? You know, my mum, people used to think she was crazy. Now they know it. But she would be driving along in the car and suddenly she would start laughing. And that's where I learned this from watching my mother. She would start laughing out loud. And I would look around and nothing was happening outside. Nothing out the windows. There was nothing playing on the radio. There was no one sitting next to her. Nobody just told a joke. Why was she laughing? And I asked her, I said, Mum, why are you laughing? I was probably about 10 years old. I said, Mum, why are you laughing? She said, oh, I just remember your father said something funny. You know, we've all got this ability to do this. We think of something. We go to a funny moment. And then we laugh. Why do we do that? Where is that laughter contained? It's in the memory. It's in the imagination. There was no funny situation right then. Just like that girl who was not feeling loved by her mother. She wasn't feeling loved by her mother. Her mother wasn't there at that moment. Yet, in that moment, when she went back to the time when her mother did love her, she was able to recreate those feelings inside herself. And that's what we can do. And that's what Unlock Your Incredible Self is all about. Remember, your commitment to yourself should be to discover who you really are. Unlock your incredible self and unleash that on the world. Anyway, those are the courses. I invite you to act now. Don't wait. Because what happens is when we wait until the feeling passes, how likely are we to carry through with something when the feeling passes? Is it a lot of money when it's your life? Is it a lot of money if you could get to feel any emotion that you wanted to, any time you wanted to feel? Would it be worth it? Absolutely. This stuff absolutely changes lives. It's changed mine. I've gone from a stuttering kid who was 14 years old and had a stutter to someone who's now been promoted in my work, who's now starting up this seminar company. And all this has happened because of that belief in myself. Because now I know who I am. I know what my mission is. I know what my purpose in life is. And that's a freeing thing. And all I'm doing here with this seminar is doing that. I'm living my purpose. I'm living my mission. And I hope you feel that. So, that's the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for listening. And once again, my name is Joshua Roy. Look us up, accessworldseminars.com, and hopefully we'll see you all soon. Thank you very much.